What's good, gente? Thank you guys once again for tuning in. Like always, as you guys can see on the thumbnail and on the title, we got a good one, right? Deemed no good on the writer hit list. What? It's gonna be a fire video, gente. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to hit a thumbs up, thumbs down if you're a hater, right? It's all good at the end of the day. I know there's some subscribers that are subscribed to Haters World, and that shit sticks at times, right? It's all good. It's all good. It's all firme. Whichever one tickles you better, hey, dale gas. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a good video. So make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and all that good stuff, right? And let's get started, gente. Thank you guys once again for your support. Y ya saben, highly appreciated. So this is something that has been asked a couple of times, especially since, yeah, your boy technically did appear on that list, right? But I'll get into that towards the end, you know? So is this something that people should worry about being put on a writer hit list, right? Is it something people should worry about? Well, yes, if you're locked up, if you happen to be someone that's locked up or happens to be in the process of going to prison. Yeah, I mean, that's something you should be concerned of. There is a writer list that does go around, and since the writers have changed a lot of things, they are getting a little bit more political nowadays, where they're actually enforcing certain things to actually go down. It wasn't like before where we were technically players and we did what we wanted, right? Now it's not technically like that no more. So in some way, man, yeah, you do have to worry, right? But it really depends on who it is. And I will explain, especially since your boy was put on the list too, right? I will explain towards the end. But another thing that I don't want to miss out on is out here in the calles, because I did mention that it would be something you won't have to worry about in jail, right? Or prison or whatever, right? But out here in the calles, even though they do have strongholds, like a good decent amount of riders in certain cities, I would honestly say no, in the sense that it's out here in the streets, people are still not in the same page, right? Some people out here, they either get high, they start making money where they don't want to lose out on that, right? Or think that certain calls are just bad calls. So out here in the guys, it's a little bit different. It still hasn't hit the political point how it is in prison, right? In prison, yeah, man, people are gonna buy, and especially nowadays. What will get someone put on the writer hit list, right? Well, let's talk about that. So technically, people that get put on that list, it's either people that left in bad terms. Like when I say bad terms, either when they were going at it with another group and they decided to leave, and they kind of seen it that it was like a protection thing, right? That they were just part of it for protection. That would be considered leaving in bad terms. So it would be because of that, or people that leave the movement, right? Even if they leave in good terms and happen to join other groups, like of course the NCs. That happens to be a group that grew pretty much out of the writers. So most of them are going to be on that list, right? People that gone against the grain. And pretty much when I say gone against the grain, it's not really gone against like the whole group, like, or you're just rushing writers. No, bro. They pretty much have gone against the grain towards Snoop, where they don't listen to what he says, or they just think that he's full of it, right? Those are the ones that are considered to get put against the grain, and they get put on the list as well, because there's still a good following that just follows what old boy has to say. And even though they don't want to get involved, if old boy says something, shit, they'll jump as high as he wants them to, right? Before, it was mostly just hands on, like whenever someone was gonna get removed or someone that was apparently on the list, right? The reasons why it was mostly hands on, it was so that people wouldn't really catch time. They wanted people to hit the calles and hit the streets. And at the end of the day, man, what's better, homie? Que una pinche potiza buena, let's do the hand policy, right? But if there was occasions where there was knife, or where the threat was actually considered a threat, right? But nowadays, things have changed a bit. Some people have been put on priority lists where they have to use a piece, and this is where, like I tell you guys, man, a little bit of the more political things getting pushed. I don't know if Ant had something to do with it, and then he fell off, or who was actually the one pushing that little agenda. Because back in the day, like I said, it was mostly hands on, and even though some people were like, "Hey, it's prison, bro, you gotta take him out." Nah, homie, it's not really about that. Because once you would get put on the list, you technically don't come off the list, right? So you're gonna tell me there's gonna be multiple times that this dude's gonna get poked, right? For no reason until someone either takes his win out, just because either someone was not feeling it that day. Because I'll be quite real. Most of the people that are put on that list, they really didn't really commit any crimes like that. But hey, cada quien, right? Cada quien es, and whoever decided to put them there, hey, that's on them, right? But at the end of the day, once they get put on the list, they constantly get smashed, and that's why it was like before it was mostly hands on, because this dude was gonna get packed out every facility he was gonna land, especially when we had writers everywhere. Things have changed, like I said, man. They are growing again, but they're not as established as they once were. And I know I'm gonna have some people in the comments like, bro, it's not called the hit list. I know, homie. I know what it's called, right? I know what it's called. It's actually been put out there on YouTube before, right? But I'm not gonna mention it just because I feel that that's their business. You know what I'm saying? That's their business, and why help out somebody? You know what I'm saying? But it has been put out there. The name has been put out there before, and it's a little corny name, I guess, right? I should say, making it sound like it's friendly and shit. But it is different from the rest. I'll actually say it's like the BNLs, where technically everybody knows that's the bad new list. You know what I'm saying? So nah, it's nothing like that. But I get it, man. I know there's gonna be a few that are gonna drop comments and try to be smart about it. But I have been told by a lot of my compas, a lot of my boys, right? Hey, Conejo, you popped up. Like, damn. So apparently my name's popped up, and it was funny, even to my boys, right? When my name did appear on that list, especially because how they wrote it down. Some people on the list, man, they add a little bit of extra, like if they were trying to blend in or hide who they were or hide the shit that they done, right? So they start to add tattoos and different placazos, right? At the end of the day. So the compas were laughing about that. They were like, pinche conejo, man, are you over here trying to camouflage or what is it, G, Because apparently how they added me to the thing, they ended up adding, of course, my original placazo from my hood, right? And my original placazo from my hood, of course, is Casper. When I got jumped into CML, I did go by Casper. I ran in prison as Casper, right? But it was to the point where it was burnt, gente. Everybody from law enforcement and just in general knew who Casper was, right? And it was just a bad look. And I'm gonna be quite honest with you. There was already like I want to say 7 Caspers for the rider movement, right? That were actually checking in, and it would get confusing at times. They would be like, "What Casper are you talking about? The one from LA, the one from Desto, the one from Stockton, the one." It just it got to that point, right, where everybody was either a Casper or they wanted to be fucking Casper. So technically, my Picasso did change to Conejo, but in Aztec. There's only a few that actually, the day oneers, they know what I'm speaking of, right? But it would be kind of hard for you guys to call me by my Aztec placazo, right? So technically, Conejo's the one. So now people knows me as Conejo. A few select know me as Pony Boy. That was actually my kid placazo because I had a ponytail. Right, but that's another story. So they ended up adding me on the list, like if I was trying to blend in and hide. And they even went as far as to add my tattoos. We all know Conejo is the one with the big ass bunny on the chest. We know that, gente, right? But it was funny for the compas, right? How they added all this on the list because at the end of the day, they added me on it, but they made me look good because the compas see it like, what the fuck is going on, right? Conejo's over here blasted with the rider movement. He's technically looked as a fucking as a as the logo, you know what I'm saying? Like as the new logo for the freaking writers, especially because there's so many pictures of me when it comes to social media, when it comes to in the system. You know, they actually show my picture of the group writer picture, right? Two compas as they get locked up. You know, like, hey, are you part of this fool's woo woo, or are you part of this dude's like on some funny shit? And I believe the reason is because they hear all those phone calls, man. We don't even talk about that shit on the thing, you know what I'm saying? But they bring it up, and I keep it at a short thing, you know. Like I said, I know that the law enforcement are hearing all these phone calls when it comes to prison and stuff like that, so I just laugh about it. But plenty of compas have told me, man, not to sweat it, that it's not really a big ass thing. A lot of them know, and they have spoke that technically that's mine and Snoop's beef, which technically it didn't even have nothing to do with me. But at the end of the day, I did talk my shit. And he does have that coming, homie. Shit, at the end of the day, he called me an imposter and all kinds of bullshit. But I don't regret nothing that I said. Like I said in the past, I'm actually living life super good. And one of the reasons why I don't really care, and I tell the compas that are in there, I don't really care being put on that list, is because technically, bro, I don't plan to go back in. I don't have it on my books. I don't have it planned in the calendar like, hey, I gotta go back to prison. No, man, fuck no. I have a family out here. I got priorities to actually think of, right? Besides other little things. And even though a lot of compas have told me, if you were in here, it would be a whole different thing, right? Because the compas that know me, they know how I rock, man. You know what I'm saying? And catching a fade or beating up other compas hasn't really ever been an issue. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we can always take a fade in the side, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I've never been someone that's been told what to do, you know? So they did put me on the list. I'm not concerned of it, right? Because I don't plan to get going. And out here in the calles, like in the ones that are around me, or the ones that are in the counties or whatever, most of them do rock with your boy Conejo, man, till this day. You know, they rock with me and for multiple reasons, right? I always been there when they needed me. They can count on your boy. That's for one, right? Two, when it comes to running fades, your boy Conejo has never turned down a fade. And technically, man, I started noticing that most of the compas in my area, they kind of feel a little bit better now that we're just chilling, homie. You know, that we're just chilling because back then, even a few were kind of like spooked when I would hit them up just to come pull up, you know, because they would either think that I was gonna discipline them or just be they were gonna have something coming. We'll just put it like that, right? Because there was podcasts given to compas in the past, and it was technically just because we're pushing the certified movement. You know what I'm saying? We're pushing the certified rider movement and going by their agenda. And things have changed and we big chilling now. You know what I'm saying? We big chilling, enjoying life, eating shrimp, and you know what I'm saying? Getting our money and just taking care of what we really need to take care of in life, which is the family, the kids, and paying all the bills, homie. You know what I'm saying? Having money in your pocket so that you don't have to do grimy things out there in the streets. You know, just say it like that. But that's pretty much it, gente. Me personally, I don't take it as a threat being put on the list. Like I said, I don't plan to go in. And out here in the streets, it's way different, gente. You know. And even though there's gonna be a few on the comments like, bro, well, this is gonna be the second list you're put on. You better go check that other list once again, homie. You know, because I do kick it with a lot of actives out here, and you'll be quite surprised. So with that being said, gente, this is your boy Conejo. Ya saben, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit a thumbs up for your boy, man. Make sure to subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell, hit all that good stuff. And if you happen to be someone that's like, damn, I'm glad you're on that list, well, the thumbs down's right there, my boy. Hit whichever one tickles you better. So with that being said, gente, you guys already been knowing, I highly appreciate the real ones, the ones that support your boy Conejo. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. We out.